Brought to you by Penguin Random House Canada.
A New Me by Helen Oyeyemi. Read for you by Fleur De Wit. Monday. Hi girls, Kinga A here. It's almost bedtime, and I'm at the kitchen table beginning our diary for the week of 26th February 2024. This is a voice transcription. It had to be. I've got lots to tell you. It'd take ages to write it down. I'm whispering as a precaution against being overheard, so I'm not sure how this will turn out. I'll check the punctuation before I close my eyes. For now, I'm watching these words rushing along the screen, crashing into each other, splitting, trembling for the blink of an eye as letters are substituted. Vowels spin like roulette wheels while the program waits for me to finish pronouncing a word. It's you I'm talking to, not my phone. Still, it's hard to imagine a keener listener than AI. An example. Just today, I exchanged personalized news alerts with Eva from work. We began doing that with the expectation that, sooner or later, the information that's been gathered about our browsing habits will lead us to the same corners of the internet. That's what's supposed to happen when an algorithm scans the online behavior of two women in their early 40s who send each other copious amounts of memes, sign the same petitions, have the same reproduced map of Narnia hung up on the wall behind their desks, and pounce on the same bargains at the same times. Christmas decorations on 26th December? Yes. Real chocolate? That is, the French, Swiss or Belgian stuff, the day after St. Valentine's? Yes. Black Friday? No. But we've been comparing notes for 7 years, and our news alerts are yet to meet in the middle. So, what's today's top bulletin? Eva asked me. Oh, these are such troubling times, Eva. The luxury enamel posse has struck again. What? The what? The luxury enamel posse, I said, enunciating as clearly as I could. No, I understood that part, Eva said. You speak such nice Czech, Kinga. Sorry, girls. I couldn't resist taking this moment to imitate Eva in condescending mode. It's possibly her cutest mode. I genuinely mean that. But also, patronizing one's patronizer is a victory of sorts, so just let me have it. You speak such nice Czech, Kinga. But what is this posse? Oh, you never heard about them? They invade your home just before dawn, fold you up into a suitcase, and fill the remaining suitcase space with loose teeth and blank checks. Then they zip up the case and leave. Eva began stapling forms, bam, bam, bam. Jezus Maria, she said, as if we don't have enough on our plates. I raised my phone so she could see I was referring to a reputable news source. So, as it says here, this time the LEP visited a family of 3 in Chodov. Mother, father, 10-year-old son, all 3 toothed up and checked out. The kid's suitcase was left partially unzipped, so he managed to get out and unpack his parents. But I think gymnastics classes are the real hero here, because when you look at how they had his arms around his ankles, is that their main stomping ground then? Chodov? Eva was getting her hopes up, looking for ways to make this one neighborhood's concern. She lives in Streshovice, so all she knows is the soft life. Because what's Streshovice, really? If you ask me, that place isn't much more than a garden with houses sprinkled on top. No, I told her. So far they've popped up all over Prague. I suppose if they stuck to one postal code, they'd have been caught long ago. That elicited another Jezus Maria from my work wife, and a question. When we say crew, are we talking about 5 or 6 people? More like 13 or 14, or so their victims say. Some of them do the tooth and check stuffing, while others, stand around pointing and laughing, or eating snacks they've actually brought with them. In a couple of instances, neighbours who thought they were hearing a house party have knocked on the front door to have a grumble, and the crew immediately dropped everything and swooped out onto the street, I consulted my phone, like a flock of bats. So now I've got to lie in bed trying to decide whether the racket from the floor above is just some selfishness I can sleep through, or I'm listening to this luxury crew's latest target, and only my hostility can shorten the ordeal. It's too exasperating. What exactly is their objective? That's what we'd all love to know, Eva. but no one even has a clue where to begin speculating. All right, setting aside the checks, what about all those loose teeth? Who do they belong to? That's still under investigation. They must have had at least a few of those teeth analysed at a lab by now, Eva said, pointing her stapler at me and narrowing her eyes. Apparently, the teeth don't match dental records held anywhere in the country. Look, I'm not happy about it either, but what can we do? Now, what did your phone urgently want to tell you today? Oh, it's wonderful news, Eva said, showing me a somewhat blurred photo. Its subject, a lean and brindled rabbit, appeared to be snarling slightly. 3 gold medals lay at the rabbit's feet. You could sense that this had been a tricky photo shoot. This was a portrait of a winner who'd guarded her medals, refusing to be decorated with them, and making it clear that a close-up shot was out of the question. Marqueta's the only bunny in the entire history of the European Rabbit Hop Championships to take first place in 3 different events. She got gold medals for the flat track, park run, and long jump events. And the best part is, she's Czech. A hard-working resident of Ústí nad Labem who trained every day, rain or shine. An inspiration to us all. Franta, Valeria, Pavlina and I took a 5-minute break and gathered round Eva's computer to watch Marqueta of the former Sudetenland conquering every obstacle set in her path. The rabbit hop champion left me no room for my usual skepticism as to whether I'm dealing with a person who's really trying their best. This Marqueta was a compact unit of concentration, pounding away at the air like a fist. She was news I wouldn't have had the faintest inkling of, if not forever. Speaking of ultimate effort, girls, I've unregistered our Vault account again. This time, I'm begging you not to reinstall the app for at least another 3 months. You've already placed enough food delivery orders for a lifetime. I've looked over the receipts, I've looked at menu photos, and you ladies can't be serious. You're joking with me, and I can't laugh. I'd need to find the stamina first. We're a 40-year-old with places to go and things to do. You can't really think that pale, amber-tinted broths and avocados sliced in half and covered with wildflowers are the winning formula that meets our daily needs. It's just not possible for any of the Kingas our grandmother raised to be this out of touch. Not only would Babcha have gone off on one if she'd ever found out about all of this, but she'd have been justified for once. What happened to the frugal ways we were taught? And do you not see that at this rate our arms are liable to dwindle to toothpicks? That's not a physique we can afford. Nobody can. Anyone who intends to keep living in this complicated world has to be able to wield a rolling pin, or similar, in the unhinged manner Babcha did that night Dad crashed through the bathroom window, roaring that nobody ever spares a thought for a father's love, and she'd almost made up her mind to let him say his piece until she saw he hadn't even had the common courtesy to take his shoes off in her home. I know it was Jadek's home too, but they took care of the place in different ways. Jadek's ways were all the level-headed ones that involved an infinitely expanding box of spanners, screwdrivers, and all sorts of other bits he referred to as thingies. Pass the thingy. Nobody likes their placidity being taken for granted. I saw him try to show us some anger from time to time. He never even made it to indignation. It was like he couldn't find his way there, and, discovering that he was too proud to ask for directions, he turned around and went home to his main facial expression, the one that was half indifference and half polished cordiality. If Jadek had ever laid down his book of the day and watched TV, he'd have known what I meant when I once told him he'd make a perfect game show host. But he didn't, so he didn't. Emboldened by the feeling that he wouldn't mind, I've tried to saddle him with the blame for our pie-in-the-sky tendencies. Oh, that's who we take after, it's Jadek. But really, it must have been the novels themselves that did it. We'd never have ended up needing what we now think of as more, if not for all those eats characters keep enjoying in books. Do crumpets actually taste of anything, or have we been brainwashed? It's probably too late to answer that. I get it. That's all I'm trying to say. I get it. I accept that our tastes have been formed, and I'm not interested in making anyone feel guilty about what makes them happy. I could always feel the Lenten fast trying to do those things to us when we were younger, so this request is nothing like that. No deprivation.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?